going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
You're coming back to go do some great stuff, man. Seriously, you're coming back to do some great stuff. I didn't even know that he's interviewing, Oscar. So I came in. Yo, before we even start, let me just call my brother Keen in, yeah, from front row. Keen, you got to get in there. This is with IFL, right? This is a promoter of Floyd Mayweather's UK tour, and he does all the rest of the stuff that he's about. He's a proper guy, good guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was just interrupting the interview. My apologies, I got to get out of your way right now. When are you back? This is what I want to know.
Looks like May 27th.
May 27th in Ireland.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to be there. Yeah. Just keep it fly, fresh and flashy, and then keep them teeth nice and white and shiny and everything else, man. But seriously, you're credit, because you know why? Because you're just good people. You and your brother, keep on doing what you're doing, yeah?
Cheers, man.
Love my brother.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, I didn't even get to introduce Michael Conlan, mate. Thanks for giving me some of your time. It's a very hot and busy BXR, but a massive week. Obviously, Floyd touches down in the UK, and a massive week for Aaron as well. This is a real once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, he's getting the show to ring with the greatest of our generation, so what an experience for him, and I'm delighted for him.
How do you kind of take something like this if you're in Aaron's shoes? Because we know Floyd in his exhibitions, he likes to dance around, be a bit of a showman. Well, I suppose there is a bit of an incentive for Aaron that if you land and you're the first person even to drop or hurt Floyd Mayweather at some point, like, there's an incentive to be a bit of a history maker.
I think if you can land and there's the photo of your face, your hand touching Floyd's face, that's your profile picture set for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? It's going to be great. I think he's a bigger guy, Aaron. He's going to go in there, and most likely he will try and take his head off at times. But how many of the best fighters in the world have done that over the previous years and haven't had any luck? So, I think he's just going to go out and enjoy it, and it's a once in a lifetime experience, as you say. So yeah.
I know this is perhaps an unanswerable question, but just kind of picking your box in mind, looking back through history, if you were to kind of design a fighter and design a tactic, what did you believe would be the most troublesome to Floyd Mayweather in terms of style, a type of fighter? What did you always think was could be Floyd's kryptonite? And obviously, it's a bit unanswerable, but
I think a prime Roberto Duran. I think the way he goes and how he gets in, he changes his angles, everything. I think he has the ability to, but also, I don't know if Floyd would have beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Those two fighters are two of my favourites of all time. So those two I would love to see in a matchup with Floyd. It never happened, obviously, but yeah, when you think about those, I don't know how it goes, really.
Mate, don't rule out Duran Floyd the way things are. Obviously, I know you spoke to Colm in the aftermath of Leigh's defeat to Mauricio Lara. The dust has kind of settled now. Just looking back on it, kind of your thoughts a couple of days passing, I guess?
Yeah, I think the stoppage was correct. As he said after, he agreed it was correct. He was out on his feet, man, and Lara has that type of power to switch you off, and he did. Leigh, I believe it was Leigh's own fault. He got greedy and tried to throw hooks with a hooker and get clipped, and obviously got put down really, really heavy. But yeah, he performed well up until that point. The first two rounds, I give Lara one of those, one to Lara, and the one I give him was big. You could see when he put his shots together, head, the body, Wood didn't know what to do. But when Leigh got back to his boxing, he was able to control him. And if he had kept doing that without being greedy, he probably would have walked away with a victory.
Obviously, with you and Leigh now, you're both in the situation where you're chasing a world title. Everyone would love to see the rematch in this country. But obviously, it's not rendered irrelevant, but now you're both kind of chasing the belt. Is it something that kind of we're likely to see a couple of years further down the line now? Or is there worth in you and Leigh having a rematch without a belt and kind of saying, yeah, this is the one to get the shot next, I guess?
I suppose you can look at it a few ways. There is worth it. It was a fight of the year and stuff, and people loved that fight and how it went. There was so many ups and downs. It was like a movie. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong end of that. But I think that now I'm on the cusp of fighting for another world title, and I believe I'll become world champion. And if I'm world champion, I say to myself, oh, what value does the fight have to me? All right, I can say and bring my ego into it and say, oh well, he beat me, I want to get one back. But business ways, is it going to be the same kind of value as what it was, immediately after? I don't think so. So I don't know. Listen, I'll go and win my world title, and then I'll see what's the next best steps for me.
I know I just obviously heard you talking to Spencer, but what's the next step for you from here?
Nothing is 100% done, but it seems like May 27th is a touted date for me to face Lopez, Luis Alberto Lopez. So, that's what I'm thinking is happening. I don't know if it's happening because nothing is sent to delivered, but no, that's what it's looking like.
How much studying have you been doing since the Josh Warrington fight of Lopez, just knowing that that's kind of essentially what could have been next for you?
Yeah, I haven't overly done it because nothing is 100%. I've watched a little bit. I don't overly study my opponents anyway. I leave it to my coaches and my team and my father, and that's not something I really kind of do. I watch little bits and take away what I see, and what it's like 2 or 3 rounds, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'll do.
Either way, is 2023 the year that Mick Conlan gets his hands on the world title?
Yeah, definitely.
Got to ask you about Jake and Tommy. Just talk to me, kind of. Mate. I do you know what? For kind of what we call a crossover in some sense, because obviously Tommy is a boxer, Jake has that influencer background. I feel like perhaps this is the first one where even people who kind of didn't want to be intrigued by it are kind of just having to go, you know what? I like it.
Yeah, I do, and the build-up has been fantastic. Usually Top Rank doing anytime or whatever it is they do, real time, Top Rank real time, on the show and everything, and the behind the scenes stuff, and you're going, wow, fight week. I'm actually watching it and going, why am I watching this? But I'm enjoying it. I don't know who wins. I'll be honest, and I could be completely wrong here, but I'm leaning towards Jake Paul. I'm sorry, yeah. But yeah, I suppose that's what it does. It gets us talking. People who don't want to talk about it are still talking about it because there is so much interest in it.
Obviously, Jake is very lights, camera, action. You can tell he's not fazed by any of it. And I know Tommy's kind of had that media profile himself, but do you kind of look at him and think there is potentially an avenue for Jake where he could get so far into Tommy's head that regardless of boxing ability, when it all gets very hot under the lights for Tommy, there is a possibility that he could be defeated?
That's the thing. It's the occasion. Will the occasion get to him? Because no doubt Tommy Fury, he's the real boxer in this situation. He's the one who has been around it and experienced everything in boxing. But the occasion he has never experienced. He's never experienced the pressures, and even the pressures which he has experienced as a pro, he hasn't performed and he hasn't turned up. So I think it's a perfect opportunity for Jake Paul to go in and beat it. I think it's the right opponent. Out of all the boxers he could have picked, Tommy Fury is, because he's came back from that Love Island kind of background and had the mad hype, and he hasn't been able to catch fire with it yet. But who knows? Like any boxing people I've really spoke to, like the Sam Jones and stuff, they're telling me you're an idiot for even thinking Jake Paul wins. I'm like, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just buying into the hype of the whole thing. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Tommy to make me think he could beat him. So yeah.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.